DeLuca here. All right, you can see I have a nice clean workspace. It's been about a year since you've seen that. My workspace is the island in the kitchen, and it was Thanksgiving and we need the space, so it all gets cleaned off once a year. I don't like being wasteful, so I know it doesn't look pretty on camera, but I'm trying to be as ecologically friendly doing this art form as possible. So if I'm not wasting a lot of plastic because I keep replacing the trash bags, you know, I just try to not be very wasteful. So I have these baking sheets, these parchment paper that I got from a restaurant. It was a paper supply company. Actually, when I had a bakery, we used to buy these for the cookie sheets. And I was like, man, these would be great for, you know, pouring. It's easy cleanup. They're inexpensive. They're far less wasteful. And it was like $41 for 1,000 sheets. I mean, I'm not even a quarter of the way through it, and I go through these things like crazy. I even wrap my paintings with this paper because they don't stick. So it's an idea for being more ecologically sound and also disposing of paint. I don't know if everyone has access to this, but the local dump actually has a section specifically for paint. So what I do is I take a plastic cat litter jug. You could use your old Floetrol jugs, like the gallon jugs. But the cat litter works because it has a nice wide mouth. And I will rinse the paint, put some water in there and mix it up, and just keep dumping it into that bucket. So there's very little going down my drain. And then you just take it to the recycling when it gets full. So, you know, just try to be as eco-friendly as possible. I reuse my sticks. I clean them the same way. Anywho, so I'm not just messy or lazy. There is a reason for it. And so now we start fresh. It might be a clean one again after Christmas. We'll see. Otherwise, this might be the cleanest you see it until next November. All right, our edges are covered. That means we're doing a straight pour. So the colors that I have going today, this light blue is actually a mix of titanium white. It was the Liquitex Basics Titanium White. I have Phthalo green and Phthalo blue. Just mix those together. I love any combination of those colors. And then I have for the metallics, which will be the cell makers, the DecoArt Americana Decor in Emerald. It's the Americana Decor Metallics, let me specify that, and the Deep Sapphire. The consistency that we're working with is about a 1.5, I'd say. It forms a slight mound, but it disappears immediately. It doesn't leave much of a trace. I go a little bit thicker when I'm using metallics because of the mica. All right, before we get started, have you seen the Fluid Art inspiration cards? If you have, just fast forward about a minute. If you have not, what we have, let's find you a new card. I like to switch them up. We have 52 cards. There are 42 technique cards. Each technique card has the photo of the reference painting and a video that you can find on YouTube that has all the information that you need, the whole tutorial, the colors, the consistency, the brands, the recipe, all of it. And then there is a color palette. And then these two boxes are meant to be used together as a color palette as well. And this little box has a little tip for each technique. And there are 8 bonus color palette cards, each one having 5 color palettes. You can use all the colors or just some of the colors, and you can use it for more than just pouring. I've heard of people using it for crochet and beadwork, and someone said that they're using it for decorating their house. So that's pretty cool. I'd love to see the finished product of that. But there you have it. These are available at my website, ginadeluca.net. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is put some paint in my cup to make sure that I have enough. This is a 16 by 20 canvas, and this needs about a little over 12 ounces of paint. And so what I do is one third goes as my base coat of that total 12, and then the rest of it goes in my cup. So let's lay down our base coat. All right, my base coat is down, and I'm going to put some paint in the cup. Okay, I'm going to start with the blue first, and I'm going to pour from up high because I want these to blend, and I want that blue to sink. I'm going for the 3D cells this time. Sometimes I want them separate, and then I will layer them more carefully. But this time, I want those 3D cells. Let's make a mess, shall we? If you get closer, you'll get more defined lines. And if you pour from up high, it'll blend more, as you can see. And alternating can give you some pretty cool effects. Oh, there's some green coming, yes. That'll be great to have in the center. Oh, 10 on the dismount. Awesome. Center came out great. Gonna pop these bubbles. It does create a lot of bubbles. So something you may notice as I start stretching, this blue, which is obviously very blue, because it is just a lighter shade of these shades mixed together, will almost appear like it's just white in comparison, but there is still that hint of blue. So if you put it on a white wall, it's going to look blue. If you put it on a darker wall, it will look whiter, but not stark like white, which can be beautiful, but not always what you want. Okay. Need to get myself a corner catcher. Okay. And I'm bringing the paint back to center before I change direction. I think I'm going to go this way. If you are very careful about being mindful of where the weight of your paint is, you can really maximize your tilting and almost get corners. Almost. The weight of your paint is going to be where your paint is moving the fastest. So if you keep an eye on that, you can get pretty darn precise. Bringing the paint back to center before I hit that last corner. Okay, coming back to center. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is stretch this area. I'm going to have to dump some of it off, but you can already see some cells are starting to pop up. But if I really stretch that, I will get those crazy, magnificent pop-up cells, as I call them. I'm going to push it almost to the edge. I don't want that center to catch. Just want it to stretch. And I'm just going to let this tilt very slowly. Patience is your friend in a straight pour, for sure. Okay, and now I'm going to stretch in these directions as well, but not tipping any paint off. I'm keeping an eye on it. I don't know if I can give you a view of that. Not enough to tip the paint. Just trying to stretch the opposite side. I'm going to get some nice emerald green cells popping up. Coming back to center. And then just adjusting the composition. Kind of don't want that green part to be quite so oblong. So I'm going to try to push it back into a bit more of a spiral. Okay, I'm going to let this sit and see what happens. But I can already see I've got some cool green cells popping up. A little bit of the 3D action. Might have been a bit too much churning. It's a delicate science, you know. But, all right. I will be back in a few. Okay, here it is. It's already drying. As you can see, the edges there. But let's get in on that sparkle. Look at that. I mean, come on. Straight pours with metallics are just my favorite thing. That center just looks like it's glowing. If you can see, I mean, it just pops right off the canvas. Like a little sea monster. This has a very underwater feel to it. Yeah, I am digging this one. And then the background color looks exactly as I hoped. It's bright, but not stark, like white would be. And doesn't look nearly as Tiffany blue next to those colors. I mean, you can see like this blue, if we go, where is it? Right there. That is the same blue. Oh, can you see it there? There it is. It's really hard for me to do that. But this blue, it's the same blue, but it looks so much bluer over here. I love that. I love playing with colors like that. That is just one of my favorite things to do, is little tricks of the eye. And there's some like blue cells with green on the outside. A little bit of the blending of the colors, which I always love. Oh, so much sparkle. Look at it. Gracious. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. If you can help me come up with a name for this one, pop it in the comments. I don't like naming paintings. I have many unnamed paintings. So as you're watching other videos, if you think of a name, I may not already have one, go ahead and pop it in the comment. I've just decided to source out my titles from now on. I love this section. It just has that 3D effect going on where the colors blend it. So cool. But if you enjoyed this, please do like and share. Definitely subscribe. Only 75% of the people who watch my videos are subscribed. You won't know when the new videos come up if you're not subscribed. And make sure you click the bell. Click that bell so you get notified when I do put up videos. Check out the description box below for links to my PayPal tip jar, also a Venmo tip jar. If you feel so inclined, always appreciate it, certainly not expect it. Also in the description box, you will find links to my Amazon store. Most of the items that you see me use will be found in the Amazon store. And I receive a small commission at no additional cost to you. So an easy way to give back. Because let's admit it, we're all shopping on Amazon these days. And there is a link to our Facebook group, Go Make Some Art. Come join us over on Facebook and post your masterpieces, ask your questions, get some inspiration. What else is in there? My website, GinaDeLuca.net, where you can find my art and music and fluid art inspiration cards for sale. All right, that is it for me. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Now go make some art.